works. I don't know about all this, but I don't know. I guess I just need to get this over with. Gonna quickly get camera ready and then we'll talk. All right. Let's do this. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna just get straight to the point here. That way I'm not like dragging this video out, and I also would like to get it up and uploaded for you guys so you can watch it and kind of we'll go from here, I guess, moving forward. As you can tell by the title of the video, I've been missing for quite some time on YouTube, and there are several reasons why. So I just wanted to, I guess, address that with everybody, and hopefully we can move forward in life and grow together. You guys, I'm about to hit 10,000 followers here on YouTube, and I couldn't thank you all enough for that. That's a huge milestone for me. Trying not to cry here. I remember when I thought it was going to be impossible to hit 1,000 subscribers, and it just like, it feels so surreal to be hitting 10,000 probably this year. I would assume the way things are going, like the rate it's going, I'm just like shocked. I'm actually really shocked that I haven't really been putting out much content really. Like the last video was in January, and that was kind of a recap of 24. So I'm kind of like shocked the fact that I'm still gaining a lot of subscribers every month. I think it's from my past videos. It's from my past videos that are getting a lot of views. So thank you guys. So welcome to David Owen Creates. This is not my typical video I would be posting about, like talking a lot about my personal life. I have done a few videos in the past where we do some talks like this, but for the most part, I do like to post content that is inspiring to you guys, such as like lots of fun DIY home decor stuff, Dollar Tree DIYs, and trash to treasure, thrift flips. That type of content is what I like to do. So hopefully moving forward, we can pump out some new content, because I do have 1,000,001 ideas in my brain. So I just would like to keep doing that and going with that momentum. But I've kind of had a little bit of a break. This past year in 24 was not the best year for me. A lot has happened, you guys. A lot has happened, and I want to talk about it. It might get a little emotional, and I'm sorry, but trying to think where I even start. So I'm going to start with this because I think that to me this is important, and I don't really care about what other people's opinions are on this subject, but I did ask a lot of people, and it just, to me, it still sticks with me till this day. And I can't explain it, okay? As you guys know, I'm a follower of Christ, okay? I follow Jesus, right? The best I can, the best, you know, how life is. So to see this, it really kind of contradicts and plays around with my faith, and I don't necessarily like want to dive too deep into this, but I don't know, I can't explain, and I'm not really sure in Christianity if like seeing numbers is a thing. So there's that. I'm going to tell you that right now. Just put that out there. ever since I turned 32 years old, May 1st of 24, I've been seeing the number 32 multiple times a day. And a lot of people said it's because you're looking for the number and that's why you keep seeing it. I don't really know why I kept on seeing this number 32 ever since I turned 32. It was very strange. No matter what I would do, if I was online, if I was in person, like getting on an elevator, or just like seeing a suite number or a room number that would pop up on the tablet at work, or just driving and like there's a sign, literally like a road sign that would say 32, or just like if I went out shopping, my total would be 32. I don't know. It was just like the weirdest thing. I can't explain. It's just like this weird feeling. I didn't know what to expect when seeing the number. It frightened me, to be honest, because I just didn't know what that meant. Like the universe, God, something was giving me a sign that 32 was the year. Now, not really understanding what this meant or knowing what 32 meant, if that means like, was that going to be the year I was going to pass away? I don't know. I just kept seeing the number 32. That's all I know. So anyways, a lot of this number, I kept seeing it and I was like, what does this mean? You know, and I would talk to this about with all my friends, including Stephanie, like, and she just was like, I think you're being paranoid. Like a lot of people said the same thing. So I don't really know, but here we are in March of 25, about to be April, and we're just going to get into this and talk about it. So 32 years of living. I'm still 32 years old up until May. So I have about a month or so left. And I just wanted to get on and talk to you guys about this number and what this year of being 32 years old really has meant to me. I think this is a very important video to share, and yeah, so let's get into it. So again, after I turned 32 years old, I kept seeing the number over and over. So May, June, July had went by pretty quickly last year, and nothing too crazy. I had some really fun vacations and experiences that I did last year along the way. So that was a really good time in my life, and I'll cherish those moments forever. I will say that leading up until some horrific events, everything seemed to be going just fine. So again, that's May, June, July, and even into August, it wasn't like terrible. And then September hit, and that's when like Labor Day came. I actually went up to Michigan, to the very top, my first time ever being at the Upper Peninsula with my sister and her husband, and it was like so much fun. We went rock hounding, I think they call it, or rock hunting. We found some beautiful Uprolites up there in Lake Superior, and like it was magical, like just being up there. If you guys have ever visited Michigan, I know like Lake Michigan's a popular place to go, which I usually just go there because it's closer to home. But this time, we decided to go all the way to the top, to the Upper Peninsula, and we visited several different towns up there. We actually had to drive through Wisconsin on that side and go all the way up to the very top. That's where we visited. We stayed at this really beautiful campground. It used to be like an old copper mine, or a mine in general, I believe. The ground anyways that we stayed on used to be a mine. So you could find different like chunks of copper, different minerals and things that were present in the land. And it was very cool. So I was excited to have gone on this really interesting experience, this interesting thing, right? So I come home, and so it was probably like maybe 3 days later, if that, I got the worst phone call of my life. It was a Friday morning, September 6th. I remember everything. I was literally doing my eyebrows. And I got a call from Miguel. And if you guys don't know who Miguel is, he's one of my close friends and is the husband of Stephanie, my best friend. Miguel called me and he was just crying on the phone, and I'm like, what's going on? You know, I'm freaking out. And he told me, Miguel told me that Stephanie did it. Stephanie killed herself. And I just froze and went, what? Thinking in my mind a million things, like, this isn't possible. What? This has been the craziest year. So Stephanie, so obviously I cannot speak for Stephanie on what had happened that day, but I will say I know for a fact, based on a lot of things that, you know, we talked about, that she was going through, that she was going through a lot of hardships in that time. That's all I really know. And for a while we couldn't really wrap our minds around what happened, why she did it. I don't know. So after I got that phone call, I ran over to see if this was true. And I ran over there, and there was an ambulance, fire trucks, police cars everywhere. There was caution tape all around the home. And it couldn't have felt more real than it did, you know, in that moment. And I will never forget that day. And literally, as soon as I ran over, the girls, Savannah and Lily, were getting off of the school bus. They were getting off the bus and they saw the caution tape and just were like immediately crying. And I think they knew what their mother did. So I don't even know, like, it just feels so surreal. It doesn't even feel like this is real. But you guys, this is not a movie. This was my best friend. Like, my best friend committed suicide. So I would like to address, you know, if you guys ever feel, if you ever feel like depressed or down like that, please reach out to me. I will always be there to talk to. Because, I mean, I get going through depression, but I could never imagine, like, getting to that point in my life that I would want to do something like that. So it really just, like, breaks my heart that Stephanie got to that point in her life to do what she did. And I am going to leave a phone number down below in the description box, you know, because I want to make sure all my friends and family out there, or they feel comfortable, they feel safe, they can talk to anybody about any issue that you're going through. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Like, there is no issue in the world like that could, there's just nothing out there that could do something like this to somebody, like to alter their life. It breaks my heart. It really does. Like, I just wish I could have talked her out of it. I don't even know, guys. Like, I just can't even believe this. So I'm not going to give you details on what she did and all that. We're going to skip over that part. But, yeah, it was pretty traumatic, the whole, the whole day. I still couldn't believe what had happened exactly. Or why it happened. But it did. That was reality in that moment, at that time. And I should have called in, obviously, to work. But I went into work anyway because this is just the rules. If you call in on a Friday, which happened to be that day, you have to make up that day the following weekend. So they would make you work Saturday or Sunday. And I personally just was like, I can't do that because I think it had already taken off a certain day or something. It didn't play out right where I was like in the position to be able to call off that day. So unfortunately I had to go to work, but they did allow me to work with a partner. So thankfully I got to work with my friend Desi at work, and I want to thank you, Desi, for everything that you did during that time, and comforting me and letting me stay the night at your house that night, because I know it was just like all this had happened so sudden, and it was just like I don't even know how I'm supposed to feel, and like I didn't want to personally be alone. I didn't want to call in and like be alone in my home. That is the last thing I wanted in that moment. I wanted to be able to talk to somebody about, the whole situation. And I just was like, I can't wrap my mind around it. So I know I spilled a lot of information and just like stuff all over my friend Desi, and I feel horrible for doing that in that moment. But she was such a good sport in like listening and just like being there for me and comforting me. So thank you. So that happened. And then obviously the week after, we went to her funeral, and it just was like I was still in shock pretty much the whole time. I still really can't even believe this had happened, but yeah. Let me just pause this real quick. All right, guys. Sorry, I had to get some coffee here. And we'll get right back into the video here. So that happened in September, which obviously is horrible. And moving forward, I really wasn't sure what to do, obviously, or like making YouTube videos was literally not on my mind at that time, obviously. And I really just, I would say, like, fell into a depressed introvert person, and I really just didn't know like who I could trust or talk to about this stuff that I was battling and going through at the time. These new emotions I've never really felt, having lost someone very close to me in my life. It was just like I don't even know what to do moving forward. So a lot of new emotions for me. Not really sure how to express all that, and just, yeah. So I end up, I want to say, I guess, picking up a lot of overtime and just like working a lot, and I still am picking up a lot of overtime. It's been like even more so, I want to say, than I was the end of the past year, but I really just amped up overtime to just like keep busy and work and try and save up some money. And just like keep my mind busy, you know what I mean? So anyways, because of doing that, and also like on my breaks and stuff at work, and then just in general being at home, I think you guys can kind of relate to this. When you're in like a sad state or depressed state of mind, you tend to like, I guess in a way, this is what I did like as my own therapy, because I didn't like directly go get therapy done. I was just on my phone and like watching videos, whatever, watching a lot of live streams. And I already had this issue prior with shopping. You guys know I did lots of shopping hauls on my channel. Well, I am on this app Whatnot, which I talk about and I've talked about and done like live streams here on YouTube where you guys can like, you know. So I'm on Whatnot scrolling through stuff, and I kind of got like sucked into the Disney category, and I just was like buying a bunch of stuff that I don't need, and it just got really bad. It got pretty bad pretty quickly too, I want to say. Within a few months I had spent thousands of dollars and just bought so much inventory. So I've been selling that off here and there, and I still have a lot to go through, but anyways, yeah, that happened, obviously. And then like around Christmas time was hitting, so like November into December was coming up there, and I really didn't want to go to my family events. So I didn't go to, for the most part, I didn't go to my family Christmas events, but I did go to my Grandpa Seaman's family reunion Christmas event. I went there, and really you guys, let me just back up. So I just wasn't feeling it, wasn't feeling very Christmassy this past year. I had been thinking about this surgery for a very long time, and we're going to talk about this a little bit here now. So I was thinking about it for a very long time, and I don't know if you guys ever noticed on camera or anything in the past, but I did have like a lot of excess fat that was like really present in my chest area, like right in here. And also there was like these, I don't know what they're called, masses, I guess, under my areola, like, I guess. And I looked up this information, and it looked like it was more than likely called gynecomastia. So I think I developed this a long time ago, and I think it might be from foods and things, from eating the wrong type of foods. But like it seemed like no matter how much weight I was trying to lose, like this area wasn't really budging. And I did obviously like go into workout programs and really try and focus on weightlifting and things like that, but I noticed like this wasn't really changing much. And I had this kind of mass under the nipple area that I would like feel, and it was like rubbery and hard, and like this size, give or take, it was pretty big. So I just didn't know like, what is this this thing under there? I don't know. So I went and got a consultation done, and basically I did find out I had gynecomastia, and that is just something that males can develop over excess growth tissue, like in the breast tissue area. But it basically made it look like I had like breasts as a man, not like super big, like, okay, so I'm trying not to be like vulgar or anything when I'm talking about this, because it's like a serious thing, but it was just kind of like enough to where I was very uncomfortable with my shirt off. So I didn't like taking my shirt off like at the beach or at the pool. I became very self-conscious, and this was like a thing for years for me that I experienced, and I didn't really like it. And like the way my actual nipples looked were a lot larger because of this mass was pushing them outwards. So I just didn't like the way I looked for like a long time, and I tried to not put a lot of focus on that, obviously, because everybody's made the way they're supposed to be made, and God made everybody special and unique in their own way. So I just kind of thought, well, this is how I'm supposed to be made. But as the years went by, I just like, a lot of this kept weighing in my mind that I really just wanted to go get looked at and see what this issue was. So that's when I discovered I actually did have gynecomastia, and I wanted to get the surgery done, basically where they remove the tissue, the excess tissue that has grown underneath the male chest wall here. So they did the surgery and they pulled out the masses, and they even showed me. So I went through with the surgery in December 19th is when I did it. I went down to Indianapolis and got the surgery done, and it was pretty traumatic. Like, I was awake for the surgery. They did drug me up, and they put some numbing, like lidocaine or something, like pumped me full of lidocaine right here. And like, I could just like see everything happening now. This is a little like scary, I will admit, but they basically slice you open right under the nipple, and they put in a liposuction to like suction out most of the fat that was already like present there and get it to a good, comfortable, like, so they're removing like some of the fat cells, not all of them, but like the majority of fat cells that were there got removed to leave like a good, nice, flat looking chest. I'm still in like the healing phase, even though it's March. Like, I have a good 6 months post-op to see my final results. So I decided, like, I'm gonna get the surgery done. I've always kind of like wondered what I would look like with like a flatter chest and blah blah blah. So I will say I had a few complications during or after the surgery was over. I did get an infection right here in my chest, which the surgeon didn't really explain to me, like, you know, what happened or why. He just kind of said that sometimes people get infections, and I'm like, okay, but I feel like I shouldn't have gotten an infection because I was cleaning, obviously, the wound areas where I was cut open. Like, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing from the paperwork that I was given. So I'm not really sure why, but somehow I got an infection that was like a localized infection that was like right in here. And I'll like pop up a picture here if I can find it. But I went to the ER and they put me on 2 different antibiotics. Luckily, that got the infection under control. Everything was fine. So nothing like major, didn't like get in my bloodstream and get sepsis or anything crazy. So luckily, God was watching over me during that time. I had stitches that are like left in there, that like dissolvable stitches. They eventually will go away. They almost look like they're gone now, but I have to do massages every day like this, massaging out some of the fluid and things that have like stayed in there, because I'm still technically swollen even though it's like 3, almost 4 months post-op. So yeah, I just have to keep on doing these things. I actually am wearing a thing to help. It's a compression vest. This helps like push everything flat, but even without it, I'm pretty flat, so I'm pretty happy with my results. I will say the actual nipple areas are kind of healing a little weird, so I'm hoping those will adjust over time, but we'll see how that goes. And I will be continuing working out and hopefully looking more like how I feel, like a man. So anyways, I wanted to share that and news because that was kind of an exciting thing. So for me, that was a little scary, taking on a whole like procedure like that, because you never know how that's gonna go. Like mutilating your body, because I mean, that's kind of what you're doing. But luckily, I would say, like, for the most part, everything looks okay. I feel okay. I don't feel sick or anything like that. So that's great. So anyways, after the surgery was done, so after that surgery was done, December 19th, the next day, December 20th, was my grandparents' like Christmas reunion. So I really should not have gone because I just got surgery done, but I went anyways. Which is no big deal, but whatever. I went anyways, and I visited, and I'm glad I went. It was a really good time. I wasn't in too much pain like that day. It's like the pain hit me probably a week later or something. I was in a lot of pain, and it It was horrible. I had bruises like that expanded all over my body. They went up into my neck. I think on this side. They went into my neck, all over my arm. The bruises just like expanded all over the place. Like all over. It was kind of bad, but all that's over with. So I'm grateful for that. That happened, and then we're moving back. That would be like the end of 24 for me. And then 2025, I thought, okay, well, things are going to look up. It's going to be a little bit better this year. But mind you, I'm still 32 years old, so I didn't know, like, if that meant something, if, like, the worst is over, or what exactly. Like, I don't really know what that means going forward. Some additional horrible news that this happened, and I'm just going to share with you guys, and we're going to move forward and just, like, keep going, I guess. So, back in February, towards the end of February, I want to say, in my mind, I'm thinking, like, what else could go wrong? Like, my best friend's gone. You know, what else really could go wrong at this point? Well, one of the things that I always thought of and, like, never was, like, I guess, you never expect when people are going to pass away. So with that said, just make sure you're always saying I love you to your loved ones and hug and kiss them as much as you can, because you literally never know when the last day is. So again, I'm glad I went to my grandparents' reunion in December, because in February, my grandfather passed away. He had a sudden cardiac arrest. He was in the hospital to be seen, and literally, like, within 4 hours, I think, of being in the hospital, he passed away. So, unfortunately, that happened. He was 86 years old. I'm really going to miss my grandpa Seaman so much. My grandmother, she's doing okay with everything, I want to say, given the circumstances. But moving forward, I don't think that she, like, wants to continue with the treatments that she was doing. So I'm a little sad about that. But we kind of just know what to expect moving forward now. I guess. So there's that. And literally within the next week, I got my results back from, so I'll just kind of back up a little bit. During this whole time, like, I guess, end of 24, my cat, Azalea, was kind of acting a little weird. I didn't understand why. I just thought maybe, like, she's got fleas or something. I don't know. Come here. Come up here. Look at her little food mustache. Look at that. But I did take her into the vet in, like, November, and I said, can you guys look at her mouth? Because, like, she is missing one of her teeth, like, fell out. Like, this part, the canine thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. But it had fell out, and I was really concerned, like, what's going on with her mouth. So anyways, I took her in, and I said, she's drooling a lot too. Like, I don't know if she bit her tongue. They looked at her, and they said everything was okay. She just had, like, some plaque or something on her, in the back of her teeth. So I was like, okay. Anyways, fast forward, and we hit February. I took her in again, because I was really concerned, and she had started to bleed in her mouth. Here and there randomly, and she was having a very hard time eating her food, and she wouldn't let me touch her mouth. Like, she would be, like, you know, trying to almost tear something out of her throat. Like, she was taking her paws and doing this, and I didn't understand what was going on with her. So I took her in, and then they did find a mass that was under her tongue, and I was like, what? So we had to do a test and figure out what this could be. And they tried to do a biopsy, which is like where they take a slice of it to send it to the lab and test it, but they weren't able to do that. So they took a needle aspiration, I think is what it's called, where they just basically took a needle and extracted some of the cells that were in that mass growth to test it and figure out what that could possibly be. And it did come back as being oral cancer. I'm not sure what kind of, what specific cell she said it was, but basically it was oral cancer. And I looked up a lot of things online about oral cancer in cats, and the success rate just didn't seem very good. So I had to make a very tough decision, and I had to put Azalea down. I miss her so much, you guys. It hasn't even been a month. I put her down on March 6th. And I miss her, like, every day. That was, like, my best friend. I'd come home and she'd be there. I went to bed snuggling her. I woke up with her sitting on me, staring at me. I miss her purring on me, and I don't even know. It's like the effects that an animal can do to a human is like incredible. But I still have Mitra in my life, and I think she's doing okay without her friend being here. I was like wondering if I should get another cat at this point, but I don't personally want to get another animal in my life right this minute. I really want to focus on cleaning up my home, because again, I told you guys I kind of went through that depressive like stage where I really went in and like was shopping on whatnot, and just like there was so much crap in my house. So, and I say crap, but it's like all good stuff. There's so much stuff in my home that I need to go through and sell. So I am going to be trying to do like a lot more of those shows on whatnot, live stream shows where I'm auctioning things off. So if you guys are curious, I'll leave a link down below so you can sign up for that. Oh my gosh. So basically moving forward in life, I'm trying to think like where this will be going. Let me get a drink of water here. So moving forward with my future plans, what I have for this channel, I do want to create more content and like be more active on here for you guys and for myself, because really doing YouTube is a form of therapy, just creating and just putting that out there, whether it inspires one person or 100, I don't care. Like, as long as I'm inspiring somebody, I think that's really like what I want to do. That's my passion, and I love doing that. So I do want to make more YouTube content, so that will be coming, but I figured addressing a lot of this right now was probably where to start, and then we'll figure out as we go forward. I was thinking like I wanted to make like a memorial video for Stephanie, so I probably will have to like compile some of the older content that she's in, and then some of her like photos and things, and like make a video for her. I think that would be really sweet to do that for her. So that's one of the videos that will be coming out, and that'll be mainly for me, my friends and family. But you guys can obviously watch it too if you wanted to. So that will be on my channel coming at some point. And then I do want to show some more like fun DIYs and stuff going forward. A lot of people were really interested in my techniques on the ceramic pieces. You guys remember like years ago, because it's been a minute, that I would take like different pots, ceramic pots and things, and just like use like a makeup brush or something and dab different types of paint on there and create a fun texture. So I think that'll be fun moving in that direction, but I think I want to work a little bit more with cement. Cement was something I was kind of getting more drawn into, and then a lot of things just kind of changed and I wasn't doing a lot of like pottery stuff. So there's that I want to work on, doing like making different molds and stuff. So, you know, we can show like how to use cement or clay or whatever to make something. So a lot more hands-on 3D stuff is what I'm looking at. Also some paper projects. I've started getting into some journaling and making like scrap paper and like creating something like a fun journal from the scrap paper. I think that is very therapeutic, and just like making those little journal books, and I'm probably gonna be selling them on Whatnot. So I'll have like my store set up where you could go in and like purchase one if you wanted to or something like that. So that is to come at some point. Trying to think what else like that I've been kind of leaning towards getting more into. I've also been making a lot of like crochet figure like dolls type thing. Let me show you guys a few of them so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so I was making like kind of a lot of crochet things, and I would do this like here and there at work, but I've been working on things like this I'd say over the past couple years, and I don't think I really ever shared it with you guys here on YouTube. Let me just move my hair a little bit out of my face. All right, so I kind of started like, I found this pattern, I think on Pinterest, of like a little mushroom man, and I thought he was so cute. So obviously I created this guy. It didn't take that long to make, and I was thinking like making a bunch of these and then like selling them on my online store. So there's that guy. Again, he's like a little mushroom guy with little arms. I think he's cute. And then from that direction, I kind of wanted to make my own version. So this was one that I created that was like similar. Obviously, it's not the exact same. You can see the body shape is a little bit different, and his hands are up. His eyes are different, and the shape of the top is a little bit different. So there's that guy, and then you can see like I added these little cute little teeth right here on him, and I thought that was so fun. And then from that direction, I kind of went with, I started on making this scarecrow guy, and I have so many different ones that I've created, but I'm just showing you guys a few of them. I haven't quite made his clothing yet, but I like that his arms are like longer and not so short. So this is kind of the same thing, but it's on a bigger scale, as you can see. So the shape's a little different because I, you know, just added a bit more rows in there and shaped it out a little bit differently. And then I made him a little hat, but this is supposed to be a little scarecrow guy. And I love his little stitched up face. I think it's really cute, and it gave me like Nightmare Before Christmas vibes, like Jack Skellington. So I created this guy, which is very similar to like Jack Skellington. And then the little sweater, I got this I think off Temu, and I just dressed him up in a little sweater, but I mean, he's just wearing it for now. And then he's got this cute little backpack of like the Nightmare Before Christmas little bat right here. I think it's so cute. But he could be like hanging on something. Hang him up in like your car mirror or something. So anyways, those were like some of my past projects, and I wanted to continue in making some of those and like showing them probably here on YouTube. So that's another idea to come. So anyways, if you guys are interested in that type of content, that will be coming up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Again, my name's David. I'm sorry about all the new people. If you're watching this going, what is all this? I didn't sign up for it. I'm really sorry, but like I had to share this video. This is very important to me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. And if you guys have lost a loved one, please leave it down in the comments. I'd love to read your stories. We're all a family here, so don't be afraid to talk to me in the comments. I love reading your guys' comments. I'll see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye.